ஷேர் பண்ணிக்கிறேன். எல்டி பேஜ்ல கிடைக்கும்.
பரவாயில்லை சார். ஓகே இல்ல எனக்கு தெரியல, அவருக்கு ஒன்றும் ப்ராப்ளம் இல்லை சார்.
Hi, Robert, Tausik, good evening. Both of you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Rohit, Kaushik, can you able to see the screen?
No, sir.
No, right. Just a minute. Can you see the screen now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we'll wait for a few more minutes, then we will start. Okay. Okay, students, we will start. So, and please ensure before that, can you able to see the screen? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine, good. And yesterday we discussed much about what is environment. Okay, what is environment, and we also discussed about what lot of the levels of organizations. Okay, different levels of organization. So in this particular chapter, in our environment, we are going to give, of course, there are many levels which are present here, and we will be focusing on what? First, we'll be starting with ecosystem and its components. Okay, ecosystem. How do you define ecosystem? All the interacting organisms in an area together with non-living constituents of the environment form an ecosystem. Okay, so this is very, very important definition you have to understand. Ecosystem means all the interacting organisms in an area together with non-living components. Means, as we discussed earlier, do you remember yesterday? Environment actually we use, but what is the correct term? You can say ecosystem. The scientific term ecosystem means the sum of biotic and abiotic components. Ecosystem means what? The sum of biotic and abiotic components. That's what is told here. So ecosystem consists of biotic components comprising of living organisms and abiotic components comprising of physical factors like temperature, rainfall, wind, soil, minerals, etc. Okay, so the definition for ecosystem you should know. And then examples of ecosystem. Okay, you can see the examples of ecosystem. You can say garden, for example. In garden, you can see grasses, trees, flowers with flowers bearing plants. Example, rose, jasmine, sunflower. And then also you have animals. Examples are frog, insect, birds. Everything you can see in a garden. Okay, garden ecosystem consists of the biotic factors. What are the biotic factors? Grasses are there, trees are there, flowering plants are there, like rose, jasmine, sunflower, and animals are there, like frog, insects, birds. Okay, all these organisms are interacting with each other. Okay, and their growth, reproduction, and other activities dependent on what? Abiotic components of the ecosystem. Okay, can you understand how they are defining the structure of ecosystem, components of ecosystem? There are living as well as non-living components. They take garden as the example. Okay, garden as the example. Right. So like that, the other examples like forest, you can tell, pond, you can tell, lakes, you can tell. All these things are examples of a natural ecosystem. Okay. Means forests, ponds, lakes are natural. And then gardens, crop fields are man-made or artificial. Aquarium. Okay, they are man-made or artificial ecosystem. Okay. Now, can you tell me what is ecosystem? Kaushik?
Sir,
What is ecosystem? How do you define ecosystem?
sir, when the interaction between all the plants and animals in a particular place or area is considered together with their surroundings.
Okay, all the interacting organisms in the area together with the non-living constituents of the environment form an ecosystem. Means sum of biotic and abiotic components. Biotic components example, plants, animals, insects, birds, etc. Abiotic components example, wind, water, soil, minerals, etc. Okay, garden as example of ecosystem, they explain. Okay. Rohit, can you tell me what are natural ecosystem, what are man-made ecosystem?
So, natural means like gardens and
Garden is
artificial.
natural, huh?
Yeah.
Garden is natural.
The gardens are no, gardens are man-made, and forest, and ponds like that are natural.
Okay. They are artificial ecosystem.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Next. See, another important term, you know what ecosystem, but another one important thing you should know about is what is called ecosystem sustainability and what is called ecosystem destruction. Two important things. Ecosystem sustainability. Sustainability and then ecosystem destruction. Okay, two terms, ecosystem sustainability and ecosystem destruction. What are they? Kaushik, can you tell me what do you mean by ecosystem sustainability? Kaushik, ecosystem sustainability means what?
The ecosystem supports sustainable life. It is able to fulfill the need of the present population and for the future population without any help from other than ecosystem.
Okay. Oh, ecosystem destruction means? What is ecosystem destruction?
Destroying the ecosystem.
Okay. Destruction. Okay. Affecting the system. Fine. Anyway, let us little more discuss about this. Okay. Just a minute. To understand this, you should know about ecosystem, structure, and function. Okay. So please understand ecosystem, structure, and function. How an ecosystem is structured? There are producers, consumers, and then okay, what are the three major components of ecosystem? Producers, consumers, decomposers. Okay. Hello, both of you are listening?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So producer, consumer, decomposers. What are producers?
Who make the
plants. Consumers? There are herbivores. Apro?
So insects?
Yeah, herbivores, anything. Carnivores. Then how they can be structured? Primary, consumers, secondary, consumers, tertiary consumers. Can you understand? So, plants, the photosynthetic organism, not just plants, you can say all photosynthetic organisms or what? It may be bacteria or whatever. They are called what? Producers. They only produce the food. And then the food is consumed by the consumers. And they are classified into 3 levels: primary consumer, secondary consumer, tertiary consumers. And you know the examples. For example, grasses. See, grasses are the producers eaten by herbivores. Can you give me examples of maybe grasshopper? Grasshopper is the primary consumer. Grasshoppers are eaten by, hello students, just Chuma, namesake, give me one example. There are many insectivores. Grasshoppers are called what actually? Herbivores. And then they are eaten up by secondary consumers called what? Insectivores. The birds can eat grasshopper, insects. And then the birds are eaten by or other animals. Is it clear? Hello students?
Yes.
Primary consumers means producers, then follows the consumers. And finally what comes? Finally what comes? The decomposers, bacteria and fungi. Okay, bacteria and fungi are called what? Decomposers. So, ecosystem, the structure of ecosystem is having the following system: producers, consumers, decomposers. Can you understand till this?
Yes, sir.
Now, coming to the function of the ecosystem. Function, that's the structure. Producer, consumers, decomposers, that's the structure. And coming to the function of the ecosystem. What is the function of the ecosystem? Energy production. Okay? Energy production. Or you can say food production. Energy production you can say, or you can say food production. And then energy transfer, energy production, energy transfer. Okay? This energy production, they call it as what? Input. And then this is transfer, action, you can say input, action, energy transfer. And then energy transfer activities. And this they can say output. Okay, coming to the functions of the ecosystem, again 3 level. First level, energy production. Second level, energy transfer. And third level, energy consumption. So this is input and this is output. Activities are output of the energy which receive. Purida idu enna means, let me explain with examples. The producers, for example, the crop fields. Crop plants are there. the function of the crop plants is to produce energy. Okay, the function of the crop plant is to produce energy. So food is produced here. Food is produced. And energy transfer. So producers comes here. Food production by producers. And then function energy transfer. The second one, energy transfer is done by from the producers to the consumer. You can say all kind of consumers, primary consumer, secondary consumer, tertiary consumers. For all levels, the energy is transferred. So this is by consumers. Energy flow occurs within the from producers to all consumers. Producers to consumers. And then activities. The functions which we do. The consumers. Functions which we do. Okay? Our activities. Maybe humans, whatever. What kind of activity we do. Only when we receive energy, when we eat food, then only action can occur. Okay? By what? People like us. So this is the function. An ecosystem should produce energy, and there should be a transfer of energy from one level to next level. And then because of the energy received, the organism should work, should do their everyday, day-to-day activities. Can you understand? So this is about the function of the ecosystem. Okay? Are you listening, students?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Now, what are all the things, including yesterday's class, what are all the things we have discussed? What you should know?
About environment and levels of organization.
Only Rohit is there, Rohit.
The Kaushik left, sir. It will be back in.
Oh, did he say anything?
Yes, I just said.
Oh, just like that he left. When did he leave?
Around 5 minutes ago, I guess it might be an internet connection.
Okay, okay. Fine.
Okay.
Anyway, you please listen, Kaushik. So, as of now, what are the things we have discussed? Kaushik?
Yeah.
As of now, what are all the things we have discussed from yesterday? Since yesterday, we discussed about
the levels of organization.
Yeah, first, what is environment?
Yeah.
Right? What is
Yes,
environment?
Yeah.
That we discussed. And then levels of organization. Okay, second is levels of organization. And then third one? You should know much about, that's what we discussed yesterday. Today we discussed about what is ecosystem.
The structure and function.
Yeah, okay. And then types of ecosystem. Okay, discussed about types of ecosystem. And then?
Structure and functions of Structure and functions of it.
Very good, very good. And then today we discussed about the structure of ecosystem. And then we discussed about functions of ecosystem. Okay, structure of ecosystem, functions of ecosystem. Are you clear with all these things, Kaushik?
Yes, yes, sir.
Rohit?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Okay. Next. Shall we continue the rest?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
You're okay?
Yes, sir. It's fine.
You're alone. Is that okay for you?
It's nothing. Fine, sir.
Okay. Just a minute. Let me check with sir and come. No issue, Kaushik. We will, Rohit will continue. Okay, for a few more minutes. Okay, fine. Now we'll go through the text. Look at that. Ecosystem consists of producers, consumers, and decomposers. Okay, producers, consumers, and decomposers. What are producers? The organisms which possess chlorophyll. Okay, the all green plants and certain bacteria which can produce food by photosynthesis. Called what? Producers. Okay, ecosystem consists of producers, consumers, and decomposers. What are producers? You tell me, Kaushik. Sorry, Rohit, can you tell me?
The producers
What
are
are producers?
autotrophs.
Yeah,
The green
the
plants.
autotrophs. All green plants and certain bacteria which can produce food by photosynthesis are called what? Producers. They are called what? Producers.
Yes.
Very good. You know producers. And then what are consumers?
It's a heterotrophs.
Yeah. Okay. The organisms which consume the food produced either directly from the producer or indirectly by feeding on other consumers are called what? Consumers. Okay. Read out the correct definition for consumers.
The organisms which consume the food produced either directly from producers or indirectly by leading on other consumers as they consume.
Very good. Okay. You know what are producers and what are consumers? What are how consumers are classified?
Herbivores, carnivores, and omnivores.
Look at that. Very good. Consumers are classified as herbivores, carnivores, omnivores, and parasites. Okay. Herbivores. Can you give me some examples of herbivores?
The cow, goat.
Very good.
Or
They
plant.
are just, herbs, plant-eating animals.
Yes.
You can call them as herbivores. What are carnivores?
The flesh-eating animals.
Hmm?
Flesh-eating animals like lion, tiger.
Yeah, they are called carnivores. What are omnivores?
They depend on both herbivores and carnivores. They eat both plants and fleshes.
Very good. They feed on both herbivores and carnivores. They are called what? Omnivores. Okay. Give me one example.
Humans.
For all category, herbivore, one example.
For herbivores like cow, goat, sheep.
Okay. Herbivores,
And
you can say cow. Okay. Give me an example of carnivores.
the lion, tiger.
Carnivores. Okay.
Yeah, lion.
Sir,
Yes. Oh, anybody else? I saw a new voice. Oh, good. Kaushik, you came back. What happened, Kaushik?
I had network issues, sir.
Kaushik, can you hear me?
Sir, I had a network issue, sir.
Okay. Fine. So, tell me the examples of herbivores, cow, okay. Carnivores, Kaushik,
Tiger,
okay. Then,
lion.
I am.
okay. Fine. Okay, only you know big animals, not the good one. Okay, tiger. Give me an example of omnivore.
Humans.
Okay, we are humans.
Yeah.
Very good. What are parasites?
Parasites depend on someone, host, and
Yeah.
they cause harm to the host.
Yeah. And then parasites.
They are symbolic.
Feed on living host. Example, viruses. There are two different parasites. Endoparasites, ectoparasites. What are endoparasites? What are ectoparasites? Tell me, what are endoparasites? What are ectoparasites? Endo means inside, ecto means outside. For example, just give me some example, known example. Even in human parasites. Human parasites. Can I tell you then? Endoparasites are bacterium or worms which lives inside our body. Okay, endoparasites are what? Organisms which lives inside our body. Parasites lives inside human body. Human body. Example, Mycobacterium. Have you heard about Mycobacterium? Mycobacterium. Have you heard about this? Mycobacterium.
No, sir.
Tuberculosis. What it causes? Mycobacterium tuberculosis. What it causes? Tuberculosis. We call it as what? TB. Do you know this? This is TB. Tuberculosis. கேள்விப்பட்டிருக்கீங்களா?
They heard it, but I don't know the exact
okay,
meaning.
Means, see, in Tamil it is called what? Elumburuki noi or Kasa noi. The people will become so thin. They will be coughing. Okay, always they will be coughing. So that disease is called what? TB, which is caused by Mycobacterium. That bacterium is an endoparasite because this organism lives in lungs. Where they live? They only lives in lungs. Lungs is your internal organ or external organ?
Internal organ.
Internal organ. Okay, so within the body, the parasite can live. That's why they are called what? They are called what?
Endoparasites.
Endoparasites. Okay, endoparasites. Fine. Now, what are ectoparasites? What are ectoparasites? Organism which lives parasites.
Outside
Give me example. Parasites live outside human body. Are called what? Ectoparasite. Can you understand? Endoparasite and ectoparasite. Example, ectoparasite. Have you seen leech? Hello, students? Leech.
Yes.
Okay, leech is an ectoparasite. Leech. Ectoparasite.
It's a fungi.
Sir, lice?
Yes, lice. leech, or lice on your head, dandruff, fungi, skin infection causing bacteria. For example, staph infections. They call it as what? Staph infection caused by Staphylococcus species. Okay, Staphylococcus species. They causes what? They are called what? Ectoparasites. They affect your skin. Is it clear? So, parasites. HIV virus is endoparasite or ectoparasite?
Sir?
HIV virus. You know, HIV virus. Human immunodeficiency virus. It is an endoparasite or ectoparasite?
Endoparasite.
Yes. It lives inside our body. It lives in immune cells. Mostly it lives in immune cells. Affects our immune system. Immune system. Okay, immune system. Immune cells. Okay, that's why it is called human immunodeficiency virus. They're called what? Human immunodeficiency virus. So they are the components. Okay. Can you understand? Parasites. So you know water produces examples, you know, and then water consumers, you know, examples. So what are the third thing? What are the third thing? See? Hi. Both of you are listening?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Now actually we're going to start with what are the decomposers. Now they have asked one question. Have you ever thought what happened when an organism dies? Because producers and consumers are what? Living components, living organism. Of course, decomposers are also living organism. But in what way they are connected? The decomposers, when the living organism dies. Okay, when the living organism dies, their bodily components should be decomposed. Okay, when the living organism dies, the bodily components has to be decomposed. Okay, so who will be doing this process? Bacteria and fungi. Okay, bacteria and fungi are what?
Decompose.
Decomposers. Bacteria and fungi are what? Decomposers. They break down dead remains and waste products of organisms. Okay, what is the function of decomposers? They have to break down dead remains and waste products of organisms. Dead remains and waste products of the organisms. Is it clear? That's why they are called what? Decomposers. Okay.
Yes,
What
sir.
is the mechanism of decomposers? Decomposition. They break down complex organic substances into simple inorganic substances. What is the function of decomposers? Break down complex. This is one complex substances. They are made into simple substances. With the help of what? Decomposers. Okay? Decomposers. You should know the examples also. So, coming to our chart. As of now, we have discussed with environment, levels of organization, ecosystem, types of ecosystem, structure of ecosystem, functions of ecosystem. And then, what did we discuss now?
Parasites.
Yeah. How
Oh.
the structure is maintained. Okay. And connection of structure and function. We just connected the structure and function by insisting the role of producers,
Consumers.
consumers, and
Decompose.
decomposers. Okay. What are producers?
Plants.
Plants and chlorophyll content. See,
Chlorophyll content.
chlorophyll bearing organisms. Okay. Producers are chlorophyll bearing organisms. What are the organisms comes under producers?
Plants.
Plants. All green plants.
Photosynthesis.
Yeah, and cyanobacteria. Organisms which can do photosynthesis. Fine. Structure. Okay. Producers, consumer, decomposes. Function. What did we discuss?
The
What are
energy
the three functions?
food production.
Input. Yeah, it is called input. Energy production.
Action.
And then utilization. You can say usage. Simple one term. And then
output activities.
Output. All the activities. Can you understand? So we discussed about the structure, functions of these things, and then consumers. How did we discuss about consumers? What are consumers? What definition we gave for consumers? What definition we gave for consumers? The organisms which feed on food produced by the producers. They are called what? Consumers. Okay, can you see? Organisms which consume the food produced by consumers. The consumers may be directly consuming food from the producers or indirectly. Okay, so that part we discussed. And then finally, what did we discuss?
Decomposers.
Primary consumers and decomposers. What are decomposers? Bacteria and fungi. What are decomposers?
Bacteria
and fungi. They are what? Heterotrophs. Can you understand? Heterotrophs. They act as what? Decomposers. Is it clear? So, ecosystem, types of ecosystem, structure of ecosystem, and functions of ecosystem. That's what we discussed till now. Okay? Can you understand?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Now, go through the text at least as of this. Then we will continue. Some 2-3 minutes. You just go through. And then we will continue. Okay, any doubt till this? Hello, Kaushik
No,
and
sir.
Rohit.
No, sir. No, sir.
Fine. So anyway, maybe in the next class, like we will be studying about all these things, like the trophic levels. First, we will be discussing about the trophic levels. As we discussed, the producers and consumers alone forms what? Pyramids. Okay, there are pyramids for different type of pyramids are there. Okay, pyramids. The different type of pyramids are there, like food pyramid, energy pyramid. Okay, many things are there that we will be discussing. And then forest ecosystem, grassland ecosystem, desert or pond, whatever, pond ecosystem. So like that, there are many food chains we will be studying. And also food web. Food web means chain is a linear interaction. Web is a interconnected interactions, maybe. So that is called what? When in the food web, there are a lot of interconnections. There is called what? Food web. Can you understand? So we will be discussing about food chain, food web, ecological pyramids. Okay, so there are a lot of pyramids. Okay, so that part we will be discussing in the next class. Since only 2 of you are here, I'm just winding up the class little early. Okay, but as of now, keep all these things in mind for today's class. Okay, like you should be thorough with all these things. Environment, levels of organization, ecosystem, types of ecosystem, structure of ecosystem, functions of ecosystem, and components, and how the interaction occurs. Okay, with
Yes.
this, let me stop. Rest we will continue later. Okay, fine. So please read the book and stay in touch with the text. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.